My name is Nobuko. I'm 28 and just an ordinary office worker. When I'm close to my sister, it works out well, but when the relationship is tenuous, it can be very hard. I have a relatively plain face, and I know that I am not the pretty one. But my younger sister, Atsuko, who is 3 years younger than me, has a well-defined face, and it's definitely pretty. We are sisters, but there is a clear difference in our appearance, so Atsuko is more appreciated by people around us. I don't blame them if it's outside of the family, but even my parents care more about my sister. Growing up pampered by others, my sister became a bit selfish and arrogant. Her strong personality is also accepted by those around her as her individuality, which I believe is a real benefit for a beautiful woman. My sister is getting married soon. If that were all, it would be great news, but a line message from my sister was the beginning of trouble. Hey, about my wedding, I need a little favor. A favor? I want to ask you just to make sure if you are going to attend. Yes, of course. It is my sister's wedding. For appearance's sake, I think I should attend your wedding. That's an unkind response. It's too late to act like we're close sisters now. So what is this favor? Cancel it. Huh? I don't want you to come. That's fine, but at least tell me why. Because all my friends are beautiful and cute. Yes, they are. All the guests on the groom's side are high-status people, too. Yeah, the groom, Kanehisa, is the son of the president of the company. Hey, it's impolite to call my husband by name. Sorry, it's just a habit, you know. Well, that's fine. By the way, I still don't understand why I'm not allowed to attend. You're so blunt. I'm embarrassed that someone who looks like you is attending my wedding as my sister. It would lower the prestige of the ceremony. In other words, you don't want ugly people to come? To put it honestly, that's what I'm saying. Wow, you are really something. I don't really want to attend either, so I got it. That's why my sister and I do not get along very well. It's only natural that I can't get along with someone who would say to my face, "Don't come, ugly." I also have another reason why I don't want to go to my sister's wedding. My sister's husband, Kunihisa, is actually my ex-boyfriend. We were the same age when we were dating in college, and we had such a deep relationship that we even introduced ourselves to each other's parents. However, I made the mistake of letting him meet my sister at that time. Most guys prefer a beautiful, younger woman to me. Kunihisa was from a good family and had a good face, so he was a perfect match for my sister's tastes. A few weeks after I let my sister meet her ex-boyfriend, I received a couple line messages from Kunihisa.
Hey, I have something important to tell you. Is this a good time to talk?
Sure.
It is kind of hard to say this, but we're not getting along very well, right?
Wait, are you trying to break up with me?
Yeah, sort of. I like someone else now.
Who is it? Do I know her?
Well, this is really hard to tell you, but you will find out eventually, so I will tell you now. It's Atsuko.
You mean my sister, Atsuko?
Yes, that is right.
What? Don't you feel awkward or something?
I do, but I like her. It is what it is.
Wait, did you say I would find out eventually?
Yeah.
That means you guys are already dating?
She said she feels the same way that I do. But I haven't had a real affair yet.
It's okay. Some people secure their next girlfriend before breaking up. I don't care anymore because our relationship is going to end.
Indeed, you are very cold like that.
You started to break up on your own, and now you complain about me? Although you started to hit on your girlfriend's sister?
Sorry, my bad.
Whatever. Thanks anyway.
You can date a better man than me, Nobuko.
I don't need it. This is how I easily lost my boyfriend to my sister. But to be honest, for some reason, I wasn't very sad. And now back to the present. I followed my sister and decided not to attend the wedding. My parents complained a lot, but I stuck to my reason for not being there, saying I was busy with work. I knew from my past experience that they would not believe me if I told them the real reasons. After all, my parents are not that interested in me, so I don't care if their liking me is less now. My sister's reason pissed me off a little, but since I don't want to be at the wedding, I was happy with the outcome. Unfortunately, my sister tried to annoy me more. I was relaxing at home after my sister's wedding, and I received a line message from my sister. "The wedding was great. I wanted you to see my dress in person." Well, that was last week, wasn't it? I really wanted to see it too. Oh, why couldn't I attend? Oh, that's right, you told me not to come. Don't be so sarcastic, just because you're jealous of my happiness. You were the one who was sarcastic with me from the beginning. No, I wanted to share my happiness with you. You are alone and lonely, and I feel sorry for you. You were right. I'm really sorry. What are you talking about? I have so many ideas and I don't know which one you were talking about. I'm talking about Kunihisa-san. I didn't mean it that way at all at first, but we realized it as we were in touch. What? That we were meant for each other. Are you drunk? If you were sober, it would be a little hard to believe. I don't know what to do. I'm just full of happiness, but I understand how you feel. I don't think someone at your level will be able to date a man of Kunihisa's level in the future. I'm really sorry for taking the better part of you in terms of appearance and love. It's kind of funny that you don't sound like you're sorry at all, but that's okay. Don't worry about it. I'm not sure if Kunihisa will really be a good husband. Sis, it's not like you to be a sore loser, LOL. I am not sure. Okay, well, take care, sister. Months passed by, and a little over a year passed since my sister got married. I have hardly had any contact with my family since then. My work has been going well. I had a new boyfriend, and I was living a fulfilling life. I'm dating my current boyfriend on the assumption that we will get married, and I have even had the opportunity to meet his parents. Then, he would have to meet my family as well, but I'm currently not willing to do so. While I was struggling with those things, my mother contacted me for the first time in a long time. Listening to my mother carefully, it seems that this is not the time to introduce my boyfriend. My mother's question was about my sister's recent condition. Hey, have you talked to Atsuko? Nope. The last time we spoke was a little after the wedding. What's going on? She has been acting a little strange since she got married. How? She has stopped coming to see me. Well, she got married, so that's normal, right? But when I call her, she's not very friendly. It's like she has something to say, but she can't say it. Oh yeah? Like her marriage life simply isn't going well? Kunihisa-san seems quite normal, though. I saw them 6 months ago when they visited our place, and he looked like a nice, likable young man as usual. What about Atsuko? Well, she was a little thinner and looked tired. I see. That might be a little strange. There's more. More? She used to have many friends, remember? Yes. I ran into Atsuko's friends who came to the wedding the other day. They told me Atsuko hasn't been in touch with anyone for almost a year now, and they had no idea what Atsuko was up to these days. Well, maybe that's just how it is. But I'm still worried. Will you contact her? It would be rarely a good idea if I did. You're cold. Okay then. I hadn't spoken to my mother in almost a year, but my conversation with her ended like this. I told my mother that way, but I actually have an idea about my sister's condition. It was when I started dating Kunihisa, I had a chance to talk with an old friend of his, and he inadvertently told me about Kunihisa's secret. I was honestly shocked when I heard it, and thought that I could not be with him anymore. When I was thinking about him like that, Kunihisa and Atsuko met, so I was not too shocked when he dumped me. And just as I thought, I got a desperate line message from my sister, who has been tormented by Kunihisa's secret. Hey, sister, help me! He is crazy! Are you talking about Kunihisa? Yes! What did he do to you? He is an executive of a religious group called the Karma Cult. I didn't know until we got married. Oh, I see. They are a special religious group that only accepts very close people. Their activities are also very dubious. He forces me to participate in very weird rituals. And the religious group is so male superiority that I don't understand. Besides, they are all vegetarians. No meat. Women in particular are not allowed to have luxurious goods and are not allowed to be deeply involved with anyone other than their peers, right? Wait, why do you know about that cult so much? Luckily, I learned it in advance that he was into that religion, so I researched more about it. Was that when you were still dating? Yes. You knew it and didn't tell me? Oh, don't put it that way. I didn't think it was something to blab about since it was his private business. No way! Did you intentionally introduce him to me? I'm not sure about that. Anyway, you can get a divorce now, or you can talk to our parents. I don't know what he would do to me if I would talk to him about a divorce. He's really crazy. Besides, both our dad and mom have joined the religious group. Oh, I hadn't expected that. But, well, good luck with that. It's true that I just wished I could let Kunihisa cling onto my sister, but I didn't think things would go so smoothly. Here's an update. Since my parents had contributed most of the family fortune to the cult, there was almost nothing left for me or my sister in the future. My sister became mentally ill and was hospitalized because of the cult. Oh gee, I guess it was a very bad situation. And the cult itself was dismantled soon after that, and the executives, including Kunihisa, were arrested for blackmail and fraud. In the end, I pushed all the bad things onto my sister. Now that all the bad stuff is out of my life, I would like to spend a happy and ordinary life like anyone else with my current boyfriend.
I'm Eureka. My mother abandoned me when I was a child. My mother had me when she was 16, but the person who was supposed to be my father didn't even care about me and just disappeared. My mother didn't love me. She never took care of me. She left me at her parents' house and enjoyed her nightlife even though she didn't have money. However, 2 years later, my grandparents passed away in an accident, and I got thinner and thinner because no one would take care of me. My mother did buy me bread and snacks, but only when she felt like it. I couldn't have anything nutritious. I guess she didn't want to come home and take care of me. She would borrow money and go to host clubs and not return for days. My younger self couldn't go out and call for help, so all I could do was wait for her to come home. I didn't have periodical medical checkups, so the people in the child consultation center suspected child abuse and visited many times. But my mother would say she was just busy and that she would do it later, so she was never caught. I turned 6 and started going to school. I met children my age for the first time. They looked good wearing cute clothes. I realized that for the first time I looked miserable. I didn't go to kindergarten, so I didn't even know the alphabet. I didn't understand the calendar, and I hardly knew any words. My hair was messy and my clothes were dirty. I hadn't even been bathed properly as well. My teeth were full of cavities. No one would be friends with someone like me. My teacher got worried and called my mother to warn her. As a result, she got mad and beat me up. Don't eat anything if you're going to get cavities. Take a bath by yourself. Don't embarrass me. So I started to worry about how I dressed. I wasn't given food properly like before, so I tried to eat more at school and had second servings. But my mother said, "Don't have second servings. It looks like I'm not feeding you properly." So I was only allowed a normal portion no matter how hungry I was. My mother's debt got bigger and bigger so that she could go to a host club, so we couldn't even pay for my school meal. During the summer vacation when I was in 4th grade, she stopped coming home. There were many times where she wouldn't come back for 2 or 3 days, but she was gone for more than 2 weeks. I was starting to run low on food, so I decided to contact her with the kid's phone that she gave me for my birthday last year. "Where are you, Mom?" "Who is this?" "It's Eureka." "Eureka? Why do you have a phone?" "What? You gave it to me for my last birthday." "What? Oh, now I remember. Yeah, I did give you that. I forgot. I need to terminate my contract." "What? What do you mean?" The guy I was dating last year bought me that so I could contact you. But we broke up. I'll terminate the contract, so throw that thing away. But I was happy that you gave me a present. You won't be able to use it anymore. It's just going to be in the way. And what do you want? I'm hungry. When are you coming home? There isn't any food left at home. What? It's all gone? Aren't you eating too much? I bought so much. I'm sorry. I was eating 1 piece of bread per meal, so it's all gone. Huh. I thought it would be free because you don't have school, but I can't be bothered. Do something by yourself. What do you mean? What should I do? Think by yourself. You're already in 4th grade. I'm busy, so don't bother me. Then, can I leave the house? I've told you, you can't do that. Why? It can be dangerous outside on your own. Stay home and stay still. But I'm hungry. Be patient, will you? I'll go home, so stay still at home. You're coming home? Okay, I'll wait. Come home quickly. Eventually. My mother never came home no matter how long I waited. My phone wasn't working anymore and I couldn't contact her. I was so hungry I tried licking seasoning and drinking oil, but I got a stomachache and couldn't eat anything. I felt my body get weaker and weaker, but I still believed that my mother would someday return and didn't leave the house. A month after my mom disappeared, I heard someone come into the house as I was laying down, unable to move and losing consciousness. It seemed like the person was hugging me and crying. I lost consciousness and woke up in a hospital bed 3 days later. A fierce-looking man was sleeping beside my bed. I feel like I've met this person before. Then the person realized I was awake and talked to me very kindly. The person's name was Sato, and he was collecting my mother's debt. He had come to my house several times to collect the debt, so that's why I knew his face. He didn't mention it then, but he was always worried about me when he came to our house. He heard that my mother had run away during my summer vacation and had a bad feeling, so he kicked down the door and found me. He told me that he couldn't stop crying seeing me so weak. Apparently, he has known my family for a long time, and all the stories I know from my childhood are things he told me. He told me he wanted to help me, but he couldn't do anything because of his position. He apologized to me and looked extremely sorry. Thank you. This made him cry. Lots of things happened after that. While the search for my mother was happening, I was put in a facility for children without parents. Sometime later, I got news that my mother was arrested. I had mixed feelings of relief and sorrow. I didn't know what this feeling was, but I was soon able to forget about my mother and was able to feel happy about where I was in life. I left when I was 18 and started working as an office worker at a local factory. It was a small company, but the president and people there were very nice, so I was able to have a good time. 2 years later, I married Masayoshi, who was the son of the president, and started a new life with a new family. Then suddenly, I got a message from her. Eureka, how are you? It's your mom. What? My mom? Of course. Who else would it be? I'm glad I could contact you. Why? I desperately wanted to see you, so I had lots of people help me find you. You wanted to see me? I wanted to apologize to you. I made you go through a hard time. Mom, I'm so sorry. I deeply regret what I did. I didn't take care of you at all. Yeah. I paid off my debt. I work properly now. I don't go to host clubs anymore. Right. So, would you live with me again? What? I want to start over again. Wait a second. You can't be so selfish. You left me and ran away. I'm so sorry. I regret doing that. And I'm married as well, so... I know. Huh? You married the son of a president, right? I heard all about you. So... You're pregnant as well, right? You may need your mother's hand. It's hard becoming a mother. Well, yeah, but... We are a family. I want to be helpful. The house I'm living in is my husband's father's. I can't decide that on my own. Then, could you convince them? I'm sure they'll say yes if you say that your true mother wants to live with you. Okay, I'll talk to them. Thanks. Thank you so much, Eureka. I'll wait for your response. I was surprised at the message from my mother and didn't know what to do. Should I believe everything she said? I couldn't decide for myself, so I decided to message Masayoshi. Do you have time right now?
Oh, Eureka! What's the matter? Did you find out if it's a boy or a girl?
Oh, not yet. There was something I wanted to talk to you about.
What's that?
I got a message from my mom.
Mom meaning that mom?
Yeah, the one I used to live with.
What did she say?
She wants to live together.
What? Is she threatening you?
No. She says she regrets the things she did to me. She says she wants to see her grandchild and that she wants to live with me.
What about the debt and going to host clubs?
She said she quit and doesn't have any debt.
So she's doing better then. What do you want to do, Eureka?
I don't know. I am a little scared. She might be lying.
All right. Don't contact your mom for now. I'll have her checked on so we can think about it afterwards.
Can you do that?
Of course. Leave it to me. You only have to worry about our baby.
Okay. So Masayoshi hired a private investigator to spy on her and see what she's up to, where she lives, and who she's with. If what she said was true, I thought I could trust her. But it turns out she hasn't changed at all. Eureka, it's been about a month, but have you talked to your husband about it? When are you going to reply? Mom, you lied to me. What? You still have a big debt. You're living with an ex-convict as well. You're just trying to use me, aren't you? What are you talking about? You're mistaken. Masayoshi investigated you for me. He said that it was shady. What do you mean you investigated? You couldn't trust your own mother? Obviously! You almost killed me because you left me alone. How should I trust someone like that? Don't bring up things from the past. I got arrested because of you. Besides, you're not dead, so what's the big deal? Not a big deal. Do you know how much I suffered because of you? You don't understand at all. You deserve to get arrested. I sacrificed so much because of you. What exactly did you sacrifice? You were never home. I hardly had any food. We didn't have the money. That's because you went to those host clubs. You only cared about yourself and never about your daughter. It's all because you were born. I should have had an abortion. I wish you did. I didn't want you to be my mother. Then why don't you go ahead and kill yourself? You're useless alive anyway. I bet that kid in your stomach is also a useless git. I'm not like you. I swear on my life. I will raise that child with care. Do you really think you can do that? Yes, I have a family. That's enough. I'm the one who gave birth to you. I won't forgive you if you leave me and become happy by yourself. I don't need forgiveness to become happy. I said nice things for you, but if you're going to be like that, you better be prepared because I will ruin your life. What? Did you think you can escape? I know where you live. Are you threatening me? If you don't want that, you better get some money. You married a rich boy. You must have tons of money. So that was your intention from the beginning then? $100,000 will do for now. Get it ready by next week. No. Huh? Don't you understand what will happen if you refuse? You're the one that doesn't understand. What? Do you remember Sato? Sato? Do you mean that Sato? The guy who was collecting your debt. I know his contact details. Hold on. He told me to contact him if you came in touch. I might call him. Wait a second. How do you know about him? He was the one who saved me when I was dying, didn't you know? What? I would be dead if he hadn't found me. He saved my life. You're joking. He visited me so many times after I was put into the facility. We still keep in touch. How? I didn't know. Please, don't contact him. Then give up on me. Then could you please lend me the money? I don't have a single penny to lend you. Please, your mother is in trouble. I need the money. I don't have a mother. Don't say that. Please. Nope. Oh, I'll tell you one more thing. What? The guy you're with right now, he's using you and making a huge debt. Huh? You really like scumbags, don't you? But you're one too, so I guess it can't be helped. You're kidding, right? He would never do such a thing. Then why don't you ask him? It's none of my business, so I don't really care, but that's impossible. How can I pay off any more debt? I don't know. You're still young, so why don't you become a prostitute or something? No way. So, yeah, don't ever contact me again. If you come to my house, I will call Sato. I'm sorry. I was wrong. I'll apologize, so please help me. Goodbye. Eureka! Eureka! Please help me. I blocked my mother so she couldn't contact me. It seems like she was extremely afraid of Sato because she didn't come to my house. She gave up on paying off the debt and committed suicide. None of the relatives, including me, volunteered to take her in their family grave. I kind of felt sorry for my mother because she had no one to rely on, but I have decided to forget about it. Right now, I have a family that I cherish. I will think family first and hope to make a happy family along with the baby who's on the way.
My name is Nano Nomaru. I'm a 28-year-old worker. It's been 5 years since I joined this company after graduating college. My days were pretty busy, going around various clients for sales. It's been pretty rough, considering I've been leaving for work about 3 to 4 days per week, but I was able to eat local foods and go sightseeing, so it wasn't too bad. I'll explain now that I'm spending my own money for leisure, so don't worry. The only fees that were compensated were for traveling. However, apparently our company was being bought out, and my boss was moved to another department. A new boss showed up, but... Hi, I'm the new boss, Nasho Tokushiki. Apparently this department has a lot of business trips, but doesn't have the sales records to match it. In other words, it's a useless department. However, now that I'm boss, I will radically change this department's productivity. To do that, I'll have all of you listening to me. Is that clear? You brought this upon yourselves, so expect a lot of hand-holding. We weren't expecting such a tough boss so immediately. As I looked around at my coworkers, they were all dazed and you could hear sighing around the office. Imagine a boss that squashes the motivation of your workers as soon as you start. You couldn't do it if you tried. Our department is in charge of helping our customers with any support needed by new products that were sold. In other words, you can't expect the same revenue as the new products department. Tokushiki seemed to understand that. To fix that problem, she started to... I will reduce spending as much as possible. Do not waste any money. My coworkers were shocked at the content of her planning on cutting back expenditures. I was away on a business trip at the time, but Ms. Toshiki sent me a message. Hope you are well, Ms. Nomaru. And you as well. You're on a 3-day business trip, right? Yes, ma'am. We've decided to cut back on expenditures, so let me share that with you. Expenditure cuts? Okay. Were you unable to cut back on this trip to 2 days? I'm having to go to several of our clients in several different states. I wouldn't be able to finish that in 2 days. But we're spending 2 days worth of room and boarding because of that. Don't you think that's a waste of money? It does cost money, but it's a cheap hotel that's close to the station. It costs about $30 a night. I'm trying to keep expenditures low. I'm saying that that's unnecessary. I will gauge necessary based on my new regulations. Please make sure you look through it. 1. No lodging. 2. If you must lodge, borrow a friend's place or stay in a bus. 3. No use of bullet trains. What are these rules? Isn't it obvious? Please cancel the hotel reservations for tomorrow and find a friend to stay with. That's way too sudden. I don't have any friends where I'm going tomorrow, and it would be pretty rude to just suddenly ask to stay at their house. It's your job to figure it out, right? It's your fault that your profit numbers are so low. You brought this on yourselves. Do you understand? I think it's a little unfair to judge a support department by its sales numbers. Excuses, excuses. The employee of the company that was bought out is going to argue with me. You do know what happens to people who I can't use, right? That's a little too far. I've been trying my hardest to keep expenditures down. I'm saying that's not enough. Stop being a money sink. Just cancel your hotel reservations for tomorrow. If you do stay, you're paying out of pocket. Also, cancel the bullet train and come back using a bus or regular train. Yay for conserving money. I canceled my reservations because of Tokoshiki's pressure on me. However, since I couldn't spend money and I had no friends in the area, I ended up staying at a tiny internet cafe near the station. Luckily, I was able to use the shower, so I didn't end up smelling bad at my next appointment. However, no matter how much I lied down in a reclining chair, it wasn't enough to get a good night's rest. The last day of my business trip was spent exhausted with a lack of sleep. The worst part was the road trip home. It would usually take about 2 hours to get home, but since I had to take the regular lanes, it took almost 3 times more time. By the time I'd made it home, it was 10 p.m. I felt depressed knowing I had to work in the morning. It's only been 4 days since Tokoshiki showed up, and I was already reaching my limit. And our department began the extreme cutback policy. No bullet trains, no overnight stays, and of course, no taxis. Some people found a loophole by using cheap flights, but then... If you take existing lines, you can save $10.
But you can get there in about an hour by plane. It takes almost half the day to get there using other lines.
Then you should take the first train out and take the bus back. Every penny counts. This continued for about a month. There was no difference in customer support tickets, but the travel time almost tripled. Most of our team members ended up not getting enough sleep, and we were all running on empty. And if you ended up having to stay, we ended up having to pay out of pocket. As our own expenditures went up, we started questioning why we were still working there. Everyone except this person. Good day, everyone. I'm heading home. Finish your work. Good luck. You won't get any overtime pay, so make sure to clock out. I'm so done!
Why is she able to leave at 5 p.m. while we slave away trying to meet her expectations?
Work is scary, work is scary, work is scary.
Okay, guys, let's finish our work early and go home on time next weekend. Maybe we can go have a drink.
Yeah!
The week after, we had crammed as much work as possible from Monday to Thursday to prepare for TGIF. The boss had gone on a business trip, so she would never know if we actually stayed behind to work or not. The system was also set up so we clocked out automatically anyway. We finished our work at 5 p.m. on the dot and went to a bar near the station.
What do you think she took for her trip today?
Probably bus.
She preaches about saving money that much. There's no way she would ride a bullet train.
The bright bunch of you have already figured it out. Let's just get right to the point. After we finished drinking at the first bar, we were heading to the karaoke bar.
Tokoshiki?
We saw Tokoshiki coming out of the bullet train section of the station. We were so furious that we all decided to confront her. Why are you all here? Why aren't you working? We've clocked out. We finished our work.
You had a business trip, right? Why are you using a bullet train?
You preached about saving money that much to us, and you're not even following your own rules? We thought you would at least feel a little guilty by everyone being furious. She actually just scoffed and crossed her arms as she said, Why do I have to be like you low orderlies? I'm the boss, do you understand? You can't compare the productivity of my hour and yours. My hour of work is better spent for the company than by traveling, so I can use the bullet train or airplane or taxi. If you don't like it, try getting promoted. Of course, I won't let any of you get promoted. If you don't like it, feel free to quit. She let off an evil laugh and walked away. We just watched her walk away silently, but all nodded in agreement. The next week, we all gathered in one spot and headed to the HR department. A few hours after work started, we received a message from Tokoshiki in a panic. What are you doing? Every last one of you are quitting? You were the one that told us. If we have any problems, we should just quit. We can't follow your orders anymore, and we have nothing good to say. As a result, we all quit. I will never accept that! Get back here and work! If you're the boss, we refuse to go back. What about customer support? Are you just going to leave the clients alone? What kind of adult are you? Leading your employees is your job as our boss. Not only did you not do that, you made us work to the point of exhaustion. And you call yourself our boss? You hush! Don't think you have another chance pulling crap like this! Oh, thank you, but you don't have to worry about us. You may not know this, but our support team has a great reputation with all of our clients. We'll find another place to work pretty easily. I'm trying my best to keep you here, and you're quitting. Go ahead, you worthless piece of crap! You can be easily replaced. We'll go ahead and do that. We made all of the documents on the weekend to train the new workers on RPC. Good day. I'm not going to give holiday pay! And just like that, we left Tokoshiki's tyrannical rule and quit our jobs. We all went our separate ways, but since everyone was exhausted from work, we all decided to just relax a little. I also decided to unwind. I think everyone knew what would happen after we quit. In about a month, we got a message from Tokoshiki. Please come back, now! Long time no talk. What's going on? Because you all left, our department is in shambles! That's strange. I thought we were easily replaced. I didn't know we handled such complicated services. The new workers don't know how to deal with the systems at the work sites, and the clients are up in arms. There are a lot of contracts being terminated. Please, just help. If nothing changes, I'm going to be responsible for the loss of the business. If that happens, it's on all of you. I don't understand what you're talking about. Your productivity isn't comparable to us, right? Maybe you should just work overtime to fix the problem? Of course, you should clock out on time, though. My skill isn't in support. Interesting that you're in management, then. I'm kind of surprised. Get back here! I told you, if you're the boss, we're not going back. Do you not care what happens to this company? I don't even work there anymore. If the company goes under, it's on you, not us. Come on, help me please. I just wanted to raise revenue. Maybe if you'd listened to us, we would have behaved differently. But you decided to take the easy way and make us work like slaves. You get what you deserve. Okay, I'll admit your jobs are important. Our company will not last anymore. Please come back. Never! And then I blocked the trash boss. Afterwards, I received a call from corporate themselves. Because the support department collapsed, the company had lost a significant amount of business. They began to launch an investigation and found out about Tokoshiki's terrible management. She was sent off to another department and our old boss was reinstated. Every single member was asked to come back to the department.
We will make sure you are compensated better than before. Of course, feel free to use any mode of transportation you like. If we consider the amount of money that we need to invest to raise specialists such as yourselves, it's a drop in the pond. Please consider coming back.
What will happen to Tokoshiki?
After we investigated her, we found out she used our company card to pay for expensive food and drinks. We are planning on punishing her for embezzlement. We are terribly sorry for what all of you had to go through.
And that's exactly what happened. Tokoshiki was fired for embezzlement. She's also being fined for all losses. It's amazing that she's the one talking about saving money. I'm actually at a loss for words. They say it's hard for someone who's been fired to find another job. She's probably trying to find a job while paying off the fine. Anyway, we were happy our old boss was back. Our benefits were also much better, so we went back to work. Here's to complete victory! And after a month of vacation time, we are hard at work again. There are people in this world who will have you doing all the dirty work while they live lavishly. I now understand those people will eventually eat their own words.
My name is Mommy. I'm a 32-year-old housewife and office worker. Let me tell you about a story that made me very angry with my mother-in-law. My husband's name is Katsuisha. We are the same age and have been married for 7 years. Our marriage is going well. We also have a daughter named Irie, who is almost 6 years old. I am busy with work and raising our child, but we have a reasonably happy marriage life. My husband's parents' home was far enough away that we had to take a bullet train to get there, so we used to see my parents-in-law about once a year. At that time, I had a good relationship with my mother-in-law. But my mother-in-law changed when my father-in-law died of illness. When the flurry of the funeral was over and things had calmed down a bit, I received a line message from my husband, who had already returned from work.
Hey, can I talk to you for a sec?
I am on the train, so I cannot talk, but I can text.
I just talked to my mother over the phone. Since my dad has passed away, she said she doesn't have enough confidence to live by herself.
Oh yeah, she does have a bad back. Living alone in a rural town can be difficult for her.
I told her that she should just go to a nursing home, but she said she didn't have that kind of money.
I don't blame her for that either. Does that mean she wants to live with us?
Actually, yes.
Then why don't you just bring her to our place?
Are you serious?
I know it's probably going to be hard at first, and I would probably have to take care of her, but we're a family and we have to do it.
You don't have to if you don't want to. I can force my mother to live in a nursing home.
It's okay. I'd feel sorry for her if you did. Besides, if she lives with us, she'll probably babysit our daughter. I think it would be good for our daughter.
You think so?
Why? Why are you so reluctant? I should be the one to be reluctant, LOL.
My mother's not a bad person, but she has a difficult personality.
Well, we are all human and not perfect. Everyone has good and bad parts.
Well, if you insist. I hope you won't regret it.
At the time, I didn't pay much attention to my husband's comments because when I saw his mother sometimes, she was a bright and funny person. After a couple of weeks, my mother-in-law came over to our place, and after a while, I began to understand the meaning of what my husband was saying. My mother-in-law is not a sarcastic or harassing person, but instead she is a bit, or rather quite, insensitive. For example, she wears my clothes without my permission and then goes out with her friends. I can manage to put up with it somehow, but she stains my clothes and makes them dirty, which is a huge problem for me. Even if I ask my mother-in-law to babysit, if a friend calls her, she leaves my daughter alone to go out without hesitation. My mother-in-law even received complaints from neighbors because she talks so loudly in the middle of the night when she drinks alcohol. And one time, there was an event that was totally unacceptable. It was the day of my daughter Ari's 6th birthday. I went home early to prepare for her birthday party, but when I opened the refrigerator, I was quite surprised. I texted my mother-in-law to ask questions because she was out. Hi, where are you? I'm out doing karaoke with friends. Lunch with my friends was so much fun that we decided to have an after party because we hadn't talked enough. Your lunch with your friends was at our house, right? Yeah, so? The cake that was in the fridge is missing. Do you know where it is? Oh, yes. We all ate the cake together as dessert. The cake was very delicious. Where did you buy it? I know it is good because it's an expensive cake from a popular cake shop. By the way, I think there was a chocolate decoration in the middle of the cake that said, "Happy birthday, Ari." You didn't notice it? I saw it, but I really wanted something sweet. Then I found a cake in the refrigerator that was just the right size, so I ate it. It was an innocent mistake. I can't believe you ate your granddaughter's birthday cake without permission. You are overreacting. There's still time to buy another one, it's not a big deal. The cake is from a popular place, so you need to make a reservation in advance. It's too late to make a reservation now. Then why not just get a cake from the cake shop in the neighborhood? I specifically ordered her favorite cake for Ari's birthday. She was so excited about having it for her birthday this year. Kids won't know the difference in the taste of a cake. They say it's not a good idea to teach kids about expensive stuff during childhood. It is okay at least once a year on a special day. Besides, that isn't an excuse for eating it without permission. Yes, I'm sorry. It's my turn to sing, so we'll talk later. And that was the whole story of this unbelievable event. After all, I had no choice but to go to a nearby cake shop and buy a cake. I won't forget that sad look on my daughter's face when she found out that it was not the cake she had been waiting for. I wanted the day to be perfect for my daughter, but it was ruined. Of course, when my mother-in-law came home, I spoke to her again, but she didn't feel bad at all, and she brushed it off. The biggest problem is that she doesn't think she did anything wrong. It is simply that she is selfish and insensitive. I couldn't take it anymore. I ended up complaining to my husband during his lunch break. Has your mother always been like that?
Yes, well, I had some crazy experiences since I was a kid. When my friends came over to our house, my mom used to walk around naked without any shame. And one day I brought my girlfriend home for the first time and she said, "I thought you liked prettier girls," in front of my girlfriend.
Ugh, hell.
I think that was one of the reasons she dumped me. Lol.
The other day, Ari was looking so sad, and when I asked her what was wrong, she told me that her grandmother said, "Your life is going to be tough because you're not very pretty." Would you say such a thing to a child? It was so hard to make Ari feel better after that.
I thought she had gotten a little bit better with age, but she has not changed at all.
I should have listened to you more. Well, I can't help it now.
No, it's too late. We could have moved her to a nearby nursing home.
But she doesn't have any money, does she?
I don't want to do this, but can we pay for a nursing home? It might be financially tough, but I think we can make it work.
To be honest, that suggestion is tempting, but it's still a no-go. After all, we are family.
But isn't it a problem if things continue to be this way and your stress builds up? I have been with her for many years, so I have some tolerance.
I'm fine with it. Besides, if we take the money out of ours, we will lose some of our savings for Ari's future.
Well, you're right.
Our savings have accumulated quite a bit, and at this rate, we should be able to support our daughter well in whatever path she takes.
Thank you, Mommy.
So, I chose to live with my mother-in-law. Well, she is not harmful to me, and I thought it would be no problem if I got used to it. One day, my mother-in-law left the house saying she was going on a 2-week trip with friends. For the next couple days, I was enjoying my stress-free life. But suddenly, I began to wonder, where did the money from my mother-in-law's trip come from? My husband and I were giving my mother-in-law an allowance so she could go out and have fun with her friends on a regular basis, but we hadn't given her enough money to go on a 2-week trip. She told me she had almost no savings, and I was sure she didn't get much of a pension either. There were no signs of money being stolen from my purse, but I had a very bad feeling, so I checked inside my drawer at our house. Unfortunately, my bad hunch was right. At this point, I was already so mad and started shaking. But first, I contacted my mother-in-law to hear the assailant's side of the story. "Mother, I am sorry to interrupt your trip, but may I speak with you now?" "What is it? Please keep it brief." "I know you need a lot of money for a 2-week trip. Also, do you have any idea where the missing cash card that was in the drawer is?" "Oh, I forgot to mention that. A friend of mine insisted on going on a trip with me, but I didn't have any money, so I borrowed some of yours. It's just a bit, so don't worry." "A little bit?" "I just checked my balance at the bank, and it is already down over 500,000 yen. That much? I didn't notice it at all. LOL. Oh my god. I always lose my sense of money when I'm on vacation. It's not funny. By the way, how did you know the PIN code of that bank account?" You usually set your pin to Ari's birthday, don't you? You need to take better care of it. So, you are watching it carefully, aren't you? Did you see who the name on the cash card is? Yeah, Ari's name was on it. Yes, the money was saved for Ari's future. You understand that that is not money you can casually touch and spend, right? There is still more than 10 years until she needs that money for her future. All you have to do is save up the money again. Besides, I have always thought you were too overprotective. I think it would be better to let your daughter earn that money herself. I see. So that's how you deal with me. If that's the case, I have an idea. Please be prepared for it. I tried to speak calmly in the line text, but my anger had fully reached its peak. I immediately reported it to my husband, and as I expected, he was also very furious about this matter. Therefore, we decided to let my mother-in-law get her due. We went through the proper procedures at the proper place to do that. Then, I sent the ultimatum to my mother-in-law, who was leisurely sightseeing. Mother, you'd better come back soon. Huh? What are you saying? It's only the 4th day. I've told you that it's not time to go back yet. If you don't return soon, you will be considered a fugitive. Fugitive? I filed a police report for theft just a few minutes ago because you stole our money. Please stop joking for a moment. We're family. Theft is an exaggeration. I am not joking. Theft is possible even among family members. If necessary, I can show you the paperwork. That's enough. Aren't you ashamed to do that to your own mother-in-law? I don't want to be lectured by someone who stole her own granddaughter's money. Anyway, we have already filed a police report, and I don't think you should be traveling around. Okay, if it's money, I will return it, so please withdraw the police report. You don't have any money, do you? I have quite a bit of savings that my husband had saved in cash. I also have some money in the back of the dresser in my room, so please take what I spent from there. You have that much money, and you used your granddaughter's money? I'm so shocked, I can't even say anything. Yes, I'm sorry. Now, the problem is solved, isn't it? No, I won't withdraw the police report, and I don't want your money. Why not? What do you want me to do? If you insist, there is one condition. What is it? Use the money to enter a nursing home and stay out of my family. To tell you the truth, I have suspected for some time that my mother-in-law had hidden money somewhere. Since my father-in-law was a very reliable man, I could not believe that he had not left any money to my mother-in-law at all. So I told her that I filed a police report, and she confessed everything to me as I expected. She really was a huge headache to us because she's so insensitive, but cunning in a strange way. Then my mother-in-law rushed home, crying and begging us to forgive her, but neither my husband nor I could forgive her because we had already lost our patience. In the end, when my mother-in-law came back, we would not let her in beyond the front door. And then we sent her away with her belongings that we had packed for her to a nursing home where we had already taken the necessary procedures for her to move in. Since I don't want to see her again, my mother-in-law will spend the rest of her lonely life in the nursing home. In the nursing home, she should not be allowed to be as selfish as she is at home.
My name is Risa Inagaki. I'm a 20-year-old college student. My family is absolutely insane. First, let me tell you about my spoiled 2-year older sister Miyu. She was prioritized in pretty much every aspect of life. I was usually left alone and honestly don't feel loved at all. The reason they're treating us so differently is simply because she's the eldest sister. My family is pretty old-styled, so the eldest son will take over the business. However, since we don't have any sons, the eldest sister's husband is destined to take over the company. Because of this old-fashioned thinking, there's a huge gap between how we're treated. She's already a senior in college, but she's essentially set to only go out and find a husband and not a job. I'm already being forced to work in accounting at my parents' company, for free too. As you can imagine, this leads to our family not being entirely fair. Hey, I can't find my favorite skirt. You told me to take it out to the laundromat yourself. Did I? You did. But I need it right now. It should be done in about 2 hours. Great! Pick it up and leave it in my room. I can't. Why not? I'm at school right now. I'll be at a lecture in 2 hours. They won't care if you take off for a day. This won't be the first time. I've already taken off a few times for your favors. I'm falling behind, so I need to go. Then what should I do? Go pick it up? The store is only 5 minutes on foot. I'm too lazy. You go pick it up. Let me at least get to the lecture. I'll pick it up later this afternoon. No, I need it because I'm going out tonight. Can you just choose another outfit today? You basically have an entire wardrobe. No, I need that coat today. Just go. I'm going to tell Dad. Fine. And this is how I live my life, taking orders from my sister. I can't do anything because my father will make my life miserable. My dream is to graduate and get a good job to leave this house. So I need to calm down and deal with it until then. 2 years later, something shocking happens. My father and mother had a child, and it was a son to add to that. Our family was partying with how happy they were. We had a party for Kazuya, the child. However, then some people had issues. Hey, where are you, sis? It's none of your business, is it? You have to take care of Kazuya at home. Oh yeah, you look after him? That kind of stuff is your job anyways. I'm sick, so I'm being told to stay away from him. When I came back from the hospital, no one was home. I had to go do something. Kazuya isn't even one. What are you going to do if something happens while you're gone? Nothing will happen. Calm down. You don't know that. He could die. What is your problem? Everyone's just talking about Kazuya. He's the eldest son. What's so special? Yeah, I don't know if you can say anything. Huh? What do you mean? Nothing. Anyway, that kid is not my responsibility. I have to find someone to get married to. I don't think you need to rush that much. They found an heir already. You don't need to find someone to take over the job. Shut up! My husband will take over things. That's not up to you. Shut up! I will never accept that! It's been 2 years after my sister graduated, and she hasn't even found someone to marry yet. She's apparently being too picky. That was okay before, but now that Kazuya arrived, she's in big trouble. My mom and dad are both only thinking about Kazuya. My sister is pretty much just floating around aimlessly, and she doesn't receive the support she did before to find someone to get married to. I guess it's still a lot better than a live-in employee like I was being forced to be. However, I was planning on graduating soon. I'd been working extra hard to find somewhere to work when my father Taichi had to talk to me.
Do you have a second?
What?
I hear you're job hunting right now.
Yes, I am. What do you want me to do about my opening position in accounting? We should work on handing over soon or we'll have some problems.
About that, you should work for me.
You must be kidding.
I'm not joking at all. You already know how our accounting works. I have no need to hire a new person, so I'm counting on you from now on too.
I'll bite. How are the benefits?
I'm telling you, I'll hire you! Don't be a brat!
Just tell me, then we can talk.
You'll be making $1,400 a month.
No way. In other words, you want to continue to underpay me.
I'll let you live at the house. That should be enough.
No, I don't want to. Honestly, I would for $100K a year, though.
I'm ordering you.
I refuse.
Okay, then you leave as soon as you graduate. I will not let you set foot on our property ever again.
That's exactly what I intended to do. I left the house as soon as I graduated. I had no remorse as I never intended to go back. Luckily, I had been working hard to be independent since high school, so I found a good place to work. I was incredibly happy to be released from that family. I was enjoying the single life. However, I was worried about my younger brother that was left there. I feel bad for him surrounded by those people. 3 years after I started working, my sister contacted me out of the blue. Please help me! Huh? What's going on? I got chased out of the house. You? What did you do? Nothing big. I just hit Kazuya. Yeah, that's a big oops. It's your fault anyway. How possibly be my fault? I got put in charge of taking care of him because you left me, of all people, babysitting! Wait, you're not married yet? It's not my fault! There's no one that's good enough for me! It's because you say stuff like that you can't find anyone. Shut up! If you hadn't left, I never would have had this problem. That's completely wrong. Why did you hate Kazuya? He's selfish. He thinks it's all his way. He treats me like a maid. Sounds like he learned from you. You were the same way towards me, remember? Shut up! This is all your fault! What do you want me to do? Find a place for me to live and pay for me? No, I'm good. Then I blocked and deleted her. I could never look after that selfish sister. I don't know what happened afterwards, but I'd guess she's struggling. I don't think she'll find a regular job. I also don't feel bad for her, but she's technically a victim too. It's our parents' fault at the end of the day. I had plenty of complaints, but I decided to let the people whom I had left to take the reins. Hey, Dad?
What do you want? I'm not letting you come back to the house. You're not family anymore.
That's not what I was going to say. I just wanted to say goodbye to you.
Huh? What are you talking about? Are you going abroad?
No, I'm not going. You are.
What are you talking about? If you're joking, stop.
$1.6 billion. Do you know what this number means?
I have nothing else to talk about!
The amount of money that your company has evaded from taxes.
This is a bad joke.
This isn't a joke. I was surprised when I figured it out.
Enough! You don't have any proof!
I worked in accounting. I saw where the money went. I thought it was weird at first, but then it made sense. You shouldn't have underestimated me because I was a student. I had a lot of information stored too.
Are you serious? If you show that, we're done! Mom and I would be in so much trouble!
You just said we're not family.
What about your brother? Think of him! You don't feel bad?
He's why I didn't say anything, but I felt worse about him being raised by people like you. And just like that, the family company was brought to an end by whistleblowers. My father was arrested, and my mother was admitted to a hospital from shock. Kazuya was taken in by relatives. I think they're pretty normal. I really hope that Kazuya grows up to be a decent adult.